From Grassy Narrows First Nation to Toronto, it's a distance of about 2,000 kilometers, close to a 24-hour drive by car. But half a dozen young people are walking that distance. The walk is to raise awareness for a decades-old issue in the First Nation, mercury poisoning. Now, the 6 walkers were in Thunder Bay. That's where the CBC's Nicole Ireland caught up with 17-year-old Edmond Jack.
Tell me what you're doing with this walk and why you're doing it.
Well, I'm walking to Toronto from Grassy Narrows to get to the River Run Rally by June 4th, and along the way I'm delivering a message to all the other communities and to talk to young people, to tell them that there are still people out in the land who live off the land, and they take fish from the water and they eat the animals on the land too. But with the corporations and the government dumping chemicals in the river system, it goes through the water and it gets into the fish and the animals that eat the fish too. It affects the whole ecosystem, and we can't eat the live animals and the fish without worrying about sickness and stuff like that.
Is there somewhere close to home where you're worried about contamination in particular, or just sort of in general?
There's 3 different communities I know that are affected by it. Is Grassy Narrows, White Dog, and Shoal Lake. And I'm pretty sure there are other communities in that river system where the mercury has been spilled. And another reason why I want to do this walk is to carry on that fight, because it seems like there are young people these days who don't really care about it. So I'm doing this to carry it on, to do my part in fighting for it. It's been going on for I think 40 years now, ever since the mercury spill.
Do you feel like any progress has been made in 40 years?
I wouldn't be too sure, because I don't know which year it was, but the chief and council at that time, I think it must have been the 70s or 80s, that they said they agreed to with the court that nobody can sue anybody for the mercury spill, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like, we can't sue the government or the corporations for anything. There's nothing we can do about it. They just tell us we can't eat the fish or anything.
Even all this time later,
yeah,
you still can't eat the fish. Have you seen what it's like to have mercury poisoning, or seen
people have, like, they're shaky and they're kind of blind. They can't see you. Like, if you're standing beside them, you talk to them and they'll look around and they have to, like, look right at you to see you. And when they try to grab something, it's like they're almost blind. Like, they'll clench their hand right beside something. Like, they'll have to move their hands around.
And people in your community, are they mostly older people, or?
Yeah, it's mostly older people who are affected by that mercury poisoning, and there are some younger people who've been tested and found out that they would be the same way when they got to that age, because mercury poisoning doesn't really affect you when you're young, but when you get older it really hits you.
How long have you been planning this for?
It started last year. I kept, because 4 years ago we did a walk, the same thing. We'd walk to Toronto, but last year I was kind of going through a hard time and I felt like I wanted to do something, so I decided I would walk. And I didn't know what I was gonna walk for, and then this Japanese doctor, I think, came down. He's doing the study on mercury poisoning, and that's what I thought. He's like, yeah, I'll do it for the same reason again, because that was the walk we did 4 years ago.
Is that what, so 4 years ago you did? Now, did you do the same kind of walk to Toronto, or?
It's not the same. This time we're kind of taking more time in each community to spread our message further, like, stronger. Then another thing I had to do is in our tradition there's water teachings, how valuable the water is to our people, and they said along the way I have to pray for that water.
When you did stop in the communities along the way, what is it? Who did you talk to, and what did you say?
I mostly talked to elders, and there was a few young people sitting around listening, and I was just talking about how important the water is to our people. and I was talking about how hard our walk's been so far. Like I was telling to inspire younger people too to follow out their dreams, to show them that it's possible. You'll get support from all kinds of different people.
You mentioned earlier that you were worried that young people didn't care as much. Is this part of what you're trying to do, is to inspire young people to act either specifically for the water issue or for other things they believe in?
For other things they believe in as well. It doesn't have to be just one main cause. Because I know that the younger you are, and like when you do something, it's a really strong message. Because we struggle so hard as just young people. We haven't really been out in the world, and it's challenging, but.
Okay, thank you so much for talking to me.
All right.
CBC's Nicole Ireland there speaking with Edmond Jack. He's one of the 6 walkers raising awareness about mercury poisoning.